Alright, how we doing, folks? Here, boy, Marcos over here. Wasteland Wednesday, that Titanfall edition. Y'all already know how we doing over here. Ooh, I'm recovering from some craziness in E3 over these past 2 days, man. I'm recording this Tuesday night, around like 7, 8-ish. So anything that breaks after that, I got no say and no idea. But what I want to do today, man, let's just go and take it from the top, man. I mean, Microsoft came out and they came out hard, son. If I had to rank, the conference I've seen so far, I really enjoyed Nintendo. I thought Nintendo was very well done, especially with the guys from Robot Chicken doing the thing. I thought it was very entertaining, but in terms of the games, it's a little bit lackluster for me. We'll talk about them a little bit later. I like Sony's conference except for that 30-minute block of the point where they didn't talk about games, or they talk about PlayStation TV and all this other stuff, and they started spewing out numbers, and I'm like, I don't really. But even then, like the little big plant stuff that didn't interest me. But Microsoft one, woo! I mean, there's only a handful of games that I was kind of like, I don't really care. Everything else, I was like, man, I gotta start making up some wallet over here. And they weren't kidding. They said they're gonna do 90 minutes a game. They did 90 minutes of games over here. So they started off with Advanced Warfare, with the mission over there that they showed. Pretty standard, that they start off with Call of Duty. They've done it over the past few years. They didn't do it last year, but aside from that, they've done it over the past few years. You know how this goes down. They'll give us the single player now, then they'll give us the multiplayer reveal a little bit later, sometime probably in late June, July, or August, or some shit like that when they do their little event. But I mean, Advanced Warfare looked good, man. We saw the change in the grenade thing. That you could change what kind of grenade it is on the fly. You saw the exoskeletons, a little boost jump kind of thing. You saw, it was really slow. Like, the guy was walking pretty slow. I mean, they do it on purpose just so you could see the environment in the game. So I don't expect it to be that way. I saw that swarm drone thing. I was kind of like, yo, bring that swarm back, though. Let me get that kill streak going. So hopefully they do that. And it was a well-crafted experience over there. But yeah, I'm partial to that because I always enjoy the Call of Duty campaign. I take it for what it is. It's an action-packed campaign with people shooting each other and big explosions. It's an action film, so for me, it's always enjoyable. Then they went on to Forza 5, and adding the track that day, which is cool. Then they had the Horizon, which is coming out in September, which to me is kind of crazy. It's a very quick turnaround. I know it's different experiences in Forza, but it's a pretty quick turnaround over there, and just a lot of driving games coming out. I think most people will pick whichever one's their favorite one. They'll kind of all dilute themselves out. Then they went into Evolve, which they got the DLC thing. I think one of the big differences between the Microsoft stuff and the Sony stuff is Microsoft is like, yeah, we got the first DLC for this, the first DLC for that. Whereas Sony's like, we got a beta for this, we got an alpha for that, and we got a beta for this. And in the long run, I think neither of them really matter too much. But if I had a preference, I'd always take DLC. I'd rather have that than the early access to the game. Betas to me don't really, I played the Battlefield beta, the Battlefield 4 beta, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. But when the game came out, I was like, yeah, I still have no interest in picking this up. I don't know. Betas to me never. I'm not a beta guy. I don't really need that early access. I'm good. And with the plethora of games that we're getting over here this fall, I mean, you tell me when the hell you have time to play a beta, because God bless your soul. Then Marcos had like a little mini, when they released the Creed, when they released Unity, and they showed us the mission and the 4-player co-op. I don't know about y'all, but I need to find myself 3 assassins to roll with. That looks sick. I love Assassin's Creed. Huge fan of Assassin's Creed. Not scared to say it. It's not a popular opinion sometimes these days. A lot of people bashing these AAA titles. But when I looked at Microsoft's conference, it was AAA title after AAA title, and I was like, thank you. This is my conference. You can keep the indie games. That's all right. I'll take these guys. Even some of the indies that I'll mention later. So Creed looked great. Dragon Age, whatever. It looks great. I think I'm probably going to hold out for The Witcher if I'm going to get one of those fantasy kind of games. But, we'll see about it. Sunset Overdrive, again, a lot of critical acclaim. I don't know. It looks cool. But it's just, I think it's just going to be buried in this October, window, October-November window, holiday release window that we got with so many games. I mean, it's a struggle really to come out of there. I think this would be a game that would be great to come out in the summer. I mean, it would have been like ideal when there isn't too much going on over there. And all these games I mentioned now, which is really cool how they divided the press conference, was like, this is what's coming out before the end of 2014. Everything else coming out 2015. So I thought that was pretty cool how they distributed that. The Dead Rising thing, that was pretty funny. With the DLC over there coming in, they talked to Fantasia and that dance thing, which was really cool. How they didn't even show it, I was like, thank you. Fable Legends beta's out this fall. I don't really care. It looks cool, but Fable is something that never quite lived up to the hype, to the promise to me. Now they're kind of changing it to this online cooperative thing. Whatever. Project Spark, it was cute. That had a Conquer at the end. I don't really care. Ori, which is kind of more of a what you take as an indie game. Was a really emotional trailer. You know, I'd like to see the gameplay, but I definitely like the style in the game, and the trailer definitely brought some emotions out of me. And I really enjoy that. Something I'm definitely going to keep a look at over there. And I think that's something that the indie space is very good at, is drawing out emotions, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Then they dropped the Halo Master Chief Collection, which, listen, for someone who, I've dabbled in Halo a little bit, I've played a little bit, not really too much, don't really, this is not exactly my flow on the boat. Like, I'm never really going to like the multiplayer all that much, but I've always been curious about the single player and that lore and that mystique behind it, and understand that campaign. You're pulling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're giving the anniversary treatment to 2. You know, just seeing them switch between when they were playing like Halo 2. I saw them play like the first or a mission in Halo 2, and you would switch on the fly between how it used to look on the Xbox and how it looks now on the Xbox One. It's so different. I mean, I'm pumped for this. This is probably like the only game I might pre-order on this whole like list. I'm definitely scooping this up day one. It's just too much content for me to pass up on. And I think if you're going to go and have to redo something and not have that Halo 5 experience this year, the best thing you could do is repackage everything, put it all in a beautiful package. There's so much to that game I can't even begin to explain to you. Very well, it also comes with a beta for Halo 5. Don't really care about that. Then the guys that made Limbo showed you inside. That was pretty cool. This is all 2015. Then they did the indie montage, which tells you how much they care about indies if they put them all in the montage. Then we got the Rise of Tomb Raider, which I'm not 100% sure if it got a release date, but I was hearing today that it might come out 2014, which I'm kind of a little bit shocked by. But it looked great. I mean, I'm very excited for there to be a sequel to that game. Very cool coming on over there. They're bringing back Phantom Dust. You know, Sony had one of these too, where I was like, we're bringing this back, and I kind of looked at it, I'm like, but what is this though? Like, what you bringing? Like, I don't even know. It's an Xbox game. I don't really have it. I don't really understand what it was either. I don't know if it's a fighter game. I don't know. They showed Division. Division is still probably the game that I'm most excited for. I can't wait to get my hands on that game. I mean, it looks so good. It looks so fun. I mean, they showed the mission. They're going through like the 34th Street train station. I take that train every morning. I mean, I was sitting there looking at that, and I was like, that looks mad familiar. And he passed by a sign, 34th Street. I'm like, oh, he's at Herald Square. Say word, yo. Post-apocalyptic New York looks dope. Hopefully it plays as dope. It's the only thing I'm nervous about. Hopefully it plays as cool as it sounds. They showed Scalebound, which is a completely new IP. It looked cool. Sure. A lot of dragons. A lot of big animals and dragons. And then they showed Crackdown. I've never been a big Crackdown guy myself. You know, from what I understand, this is kind of more of a reboot to the series rather than, you know, a Crackdown 3. You know, 2 was really not well received. Never been a big Crackdown guy, so we'll see how it goes. But all that's kind of in the future over there. So overall, man, I mean, I was very satisfied by the Microsoft press conference. I don't think there was any moment, you know, the Master Chief Collection, and it's unfortunate it had been leaked already. You know, so you kind of knew. You knew that like the Halo 2 was getting the anniversary treatment. You didn't know about everything else. But even so, like, just seeing all that's put into that game, it's very impressive. I think it's very well done for a guy like myself, you know, who maybe has, and I'm not sure how many people are there out there actually have an Xbox One and have really never dabbled too much in Halo since the premier franchise. I think it's probably a limited amount. But for me personally, I'm gonna pay you $60 and play all 4 of those games, get 100+ hours of gameplay, and maybe even dabble into a multiplayer. I mean, the multiplayer. Think about this: the multiplayer is over 100 maps, and you get to play all of them on their engines, how they ran. So when you go into like your playlists, or when the lobby was setting up for the game, it's gonna tell you, hey, you want to play this map from Halo 1, this map from Halo 2, this map from Halo 3, this map from Halo 4, and you vote for it. That's crazy. That's wild. Like that's just too many maps. Dios mío. Overall, great press conference. Gonna talk a little bit more about Friday, about everybody else.